These are some foods that do not have any medium-chain triglycerides, and these are the most common oils that are found in our typical American diet. So even olive oil does not have any medium-chain triglyceride in it, and fish oil doesn't. But if you take coconut oil, basically the only fat that it's missing that you need is omega-3 fatty acids. So it's very important to take fish oil or eat fish, to get that from the diet. And these are some foods that do have medium-chain fatty acids, and coconut oil is number one on the list. Well, MCT oil is really the most concentrated form of medium chain. It's deliberately made that way, and it's actually used by bodybuilders. It has been for a long, long time to increase lean body mass. So you can find it in some health food stores. Just in Spring Hill, where I live, it's a little tiny town, and all of the health food stores carry MCT oil in my little town. As well as coconut oil. But it's also found in the milk fat of mammals, and that includes humans, goats, and cows. So, one of the things that has been stressed over recent years is that we should drink low-fat or fat-free milk. Well, if you do that, you're not getting any medium-chain triglycerides in your diet, and probably not absorbing calcium very well from the milk, So, and goat milk actually has much more than cow milk does in it. And when they talk about the Mediterranean diet, one thing they don't mention in this country is that people in those areas drink goat milk. A lot of people drink goat milk, and maybe that's one thing that's part of the Mediterranean diet. There are many other things in it, that are very healthy too. But that might be one important thing about it that we should think about. So as far as coconut oil, any part of the coconut, except the water, doesn't really have much of the oil in it, if any. But these are just some other coconut things that you can do to get oil, from it. Coconut milk is loaded with coconut oil, so that you can get medium-chain triglycerides with that, and it's actually very good. People ask me about coconut capsules all the time. I figured that will probably be one of the questions, so I'll just go ahead and address it now. But each capsule has only 1 gram, and there's 14 grams in a tablespoon of coconut oil. So you'd have to take 14 capsules to get 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. So that's very expensive and very hard thing to swallow, literally. Steve, we increased him over time, so that he was getting it at least 3 times a day and finally 4 times a day. And Dr. Veach measured his ketone levels after he took coconut oil and MCT oil. And with coconut oil, his level of ketones peaked at about 3 hours, and they were still hanging around like 7 or 8 hours later. With MCT oil, the ketone level was higher, but it peaked at 90 minutes, and they were gone at 3 hours. So, like say the product AC1202, which is Axona, the dose is once a day. Well, it's gone after 3 hours or 4 hours. What do you do the rest of the day? So we started adding it to his diet for the other meals to try to keep ketones available to his brain 24/7. So that's why we do that. And then, coconut oil, the lauric acid in it, one of the medium-chain triglycerides, has antimicrobial, antibacterial, type of properties to it. And so there are other good things about coconut oil, and that's what he improved with in the first place. So I've always been leery of taking that out of his diet and substituting it with just MCT oil. So this is just a recommendation for how to start. If you some people, if they try to take too much oil too fast, will have diarrhea, and it's like major diarrhea. So I usually recommend to people that they start with 1 or 2 teaspoons, like 1 teaspoon, 2 or 3 times a day with food, and just increase it slowly as they tolerate it, up to the point of tolerance. The more you take, the more ketone you will produce, basically.